Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I have come here with my own confession that I want to share with you, and my confession, it goes on like this. I am a Zimbabwean woman who is currently staying here in Canada. I want to confess the evil thing that I did to my boss simply because we had an argument, and the dangers as well of trusting in red garment prophets. Those ones, they are much more dangerous than a witch doctor, because a witch doctor, at the end of the day, he will tell you that, but these things that you want to do, your ancestors, they are saying no, I cannot assist you. You can never hear a red garment prophet telling you that this which you want me to do for you, it is satanic. My ancestors, they won't allow me to do such a thing, because first of all, they do not deal with ancestors as we know them, but they deal with angels. I have now come to understand that the angels that they use, like in Shona, they call them Ngirozi dzekumadokero, meaning that the angels that came from the west. This means that these are angels that fell from the heaven and then they came to earth. So what I have learned so far, because of the rituals that I did through a red garment prophet, these were angels that were seen descending on some of the mountains in our country that are said to be forbidden mountains, and they pray to those angels. That is why they speak of angels of war, angels that only come to fight. A prophet that is said to only work with angels that only want to go back to sender to harm other people. I never knew about this, and there was even a time when I was a follower of this other prophet who was from Soshanguve, where I was staying, even though I was working as a maid in Joburg. But from Saturday and Sunday, I'll be in Soshanguve. That was where I was staying with my husband. So we would go to the church. It was a red garment prophet church. I started going to that church because we had been experiencing some difficulties in our life. And the truth is that when you are in Africa, even though witchcraft is real, I have proof that witchcraft is real, because I have seen some things that are not supposed to be seen by us humans. Let me say that the veil that is put in front of you when you are born, like when a baby is still in the mother's womb, as I was told by that prophet, you can see everything that happens in the spiritual realm. But at the time when you are born, then there is a veil that is put in front of you so that you can be protected by some of the things that happen in the spiritual realm, the things that can harm you when you are here on earth. But once you start to do rituals, then it means that the veil will be removed from you. So I experience a lot of stuff, and I know that God is for real. The devil is also for real. Because of the challenges that I was facing, I did not sit down and think that, first of all, I am in a foreign country and I don't have proper documentation. There is no way that I can get the same job that a South African person can get, and I will never be able to get the same salary. So it was just like basic knowledge that I was supposed to understand, that it is what it is. You just need to be grateful for what you have. But I started to have so much resentment towards my boss, first of all, because from Saturday to Sunday, there was this other girl. She was going to university. She stayed in that same neighborhood where my boss was staying. So whenever this girl will come to do laundry, the money that she used to get from my boss, it was quite a lot. So I started to have so much resentment towards her. It then happened that my boss told me that her own cousin sister had a child, because I was very good with kids, and she had spoken with a cousin sister so that I can go and work for her in Durban. So I had to move from Joburg, and I went and I started working in Durban. I expected a lot of money because I was now far from my husband, but they were giving me the same salary, even though when I would speak with that girl who was now working for them regularly, they were giving her more money that I was making, yet I was working each and every day, and sometimes I would knock off at 9 p.m. It then happened that we went home. There was a ritual that was supposed to be done, whereby we were bringing the spirit of one of our grandmother into our home. So there were traditional healers that were there, and the spirits that were talking, they were saying that I am supposed to become rich in life, but it's only that my marine spirits that were leading me, that even made me to go to South Africa, they were being confused because of what happened when I was young. There was someone who was our neighbor when we were staying in Harare who did some rituals because she wanted to use me for witchcraft. Like little kids, those that have a gift, those are the ones that can be used by people who practice witchcraft. When you go out to bewitch people, you will need a child sometimes to open a grave or to open someone's door, especially if that person is a prayer warrior. You will need a child that you would have taken so that you can use him or her to open your enemy's door. So I was being used by witches when I was still very young. That is why my mermaid spirits, they were unable to provide for me like the money that they were supposed to give to me. I was supposed to become rich. So I then asked that traditional healer, what is it that I was supposed to do? I was then told that the only option that was there was that I was supposed to come to his shrine after the whole ceremony had been done. Fast forward, when the ceremony was done, that was when I went and I visited that traditional healer. It was me and my husband. When we arrived at his shrine, I was then told that there was a cleansing ceremony that was supposed to be done in order for me to be able to get a good job in South Africa, to even get a car at the company where I was working at, and there was a prophecy that I'll end up coming to this country where I am right now. So I believed everything. The only challenge that was there was that I was supposed to use a child that was below 1 year that was still breastfeeding. I said, where am I going to get such a child? My husband then reminded me and he said, but you are working for name hidden, meaning my boss's cousin sister. We then came back to South Africa. I went to Durban and I left my husband in Pretoria. I worked and I was now in communication with the traditional healer. Everything that he wanted me to do, I was supposed to do it. My brother, let me confess so that people know that witchcraft is for real, and these are some of the things that people do when they have been told to do such things. When I arrived in South Africa, I went to that prophet because I said, these things of sangomas, I don't understand them. Let me go to the prophet so that he can tell me as a man of God. I went to the red garment prophet in Pretoria and I told him that this was what I had been told. I was supposed to breastfeed this child, even though there was no milk that would be coming out of my breast. I was supposed to breastfeed this child, and when I will be breastfeeding the child, then my bad luck, everything that was done ever since I was still a young girl, the spirit will possess her and follow her, give her the same bad luck that had been given to me because I was also born innocent. And this is what the prophet told me. The prophet said, evil was created by God himself. Before Adam was even created, there was already evil in the world, and God is the author of evil. That is why I am saying that people need to be careful, especially with red garment prophets, because they believe in their own version of Christianity, which is different, and it involves witchcraft, a lot of it. And when he told me that even if I do not do this, but there is someone who will end up doing evil towards that newborn baby. So if I wanted to free myself, I had to do what I had been told by the Sangoma. So I was speaking with the Sangoma as well as speaking with the prophet from Pretoria. I then went to Dubarn, and the Sangoma and the prophets, they were both speaking with each other. They were assisting me. I was then told that I was supposed to go and buy condensed milk and buy 6 eggs. And the first eggs that I bought, I mixed them with the condensed milk and I drank it each and every day until 6 days. And the remaining condensed milk, I had to wash my breast with it. To my surprise, Brother Nashi, one day I had a dream. I was breastfeeding. When I woke up, I saw that there was milk that was coming out of my nipples. I then told the prophet, and I was told that I was supposed to do as I had been instructed by the Sangoma, and I started to breastfeed that child. I want to be honest with you. I breastfed that child, and then that was when my good luck came to me. A very long time ago, I had submitted my CV at this other company that is called SAB, and all of a sudden my husband, he called me like he was screaming on top of his voice. He then told me that he had been called by this man who was saying that he was Johannes, not his real name, a white man who was saying that he was looking at my CV. I thought that maybe it was a mistake, but they said that I could even go to the SAB in Dubarn, then I do my interview, but then I'll come back to Joburg. I was like, are you for real? And they said they wanted to set up the interview the next morning. And the next day I went there. When I arrived there, the lady was so friendly. I still remember her name, but I can't share with you the name. I'm scared that people might get to know that it is I. And I was told that this was just a formal interview. They were really sorry that they had been keeping my CV for a long time, and they had decided that I was the right woman for the job. I then went through training. When I was in Dubarn, I told them that I was working as a maid. He was even saying, oh, sorry, we can make an advancement of 3 months pay, and we are going to find a place for you to stay. Whilst I was going through training, I was being trained by a man who was said to be the one who was going to receive a promotion to become a manager. That man was even shocked that this woman, she just came and now she is being promoted. By the time that I came to Joburg, in the 3 months when I went through the training, I had ran back home, did my license, and I came back and I was given a bucket that I was using. I was the manager. People, they were even surprised. Even my former boss, she was surprised about this, and I told her I was already educated and I had submitted all of these documents even though I was working for you as a maid. I started working and I had a very good job, but I was using the good luck that I had stolen from that newborn baby, and I was using her luck. Later on, that was when I received also an email. This was a job that I had tried to get when I was still in Zim a very long time ago. They said that they were going to process everything for me so that I can come to this country where I am overseas. Me and my husband, we then came here with our children. But when I came here, as I was thinking about this one day, I then started to think a lot about the things that I did. What I asked myself was that this child that we used in the rituals, she was innocent. She never knew about anything. A newborn baby, less than a year, but then I gave her my bad luck. But when I was thinking about it, I said, but even I never had an opportunity to defend myself from the witch who was staying next door to the place where we were staying, who will take me and go with me so that she can use me to open graves. But I've just come here so that people can know that these things, they are for real. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Then there is another message that I want to share with you. The message, it reads like this: hello brother, how are you? Please post my story as hidden identity. I am a Mozambican man, but most of the people, they think that I am South African. I came to South Africa it was in the year 2005 when I came and I got married to my wife and she passed away. I was working as a sangoma, but I was not a powerful sangoma and I was not making a lot of money. I then returned back to the village from where I come from and I bought 60 tokoloshis. These 60 tokoloshis, I had to travel between Mozambique and South Africa 20 times because I was given 60 walking sticks. So each and every time when I would go and fetch my tokoloshis, I would be fetching 20 walking sticks and pretend as if I want to sell them in South Africa. And once I had collected all of them, I then settled permanently in South Africa. So I have been selling these tokoloshis since that year when I did rituals. I did these rituals, it was in the year 2008. I have already sold 28 tokoloshis and now death is calling me. I am supposed to go back to Mozambique to die and to rest with my ancestors, but I can't rest as long as these tokoloshis are not sold, because that was the agreement that I had with the sangoma that strengthened me. He said you can only rest once you have sold all of these tokoloshis, but I have not yet managed to sell all of these tokoloshis. Therefore, I have come here. If you know anyone that has a business that wants a tokoloshi, not a toy, not a joke, not a story, each and every tokoloshi that I will give to people, it will come as a walking stick, but it will be a magic walking stick that can give you money so that you can sustain your business. If there is such a person that wants to help me so that I can die, because my time that has already been set by God for me to live here on earth, I am past that time and my body is begging to die, but I can't die as long as I have these tokoloshis. 28 are gone and I still have these tokoloshis in my house. I am selling each tokoloshi for 40,000 rands. If there is anyone who is willing to buy these things for me, for they can give you money, real money. As for my children, I do not want them to inherit these tokoloshis, hence I am selling them to anyone. If you are a prophet, if you have a church, this walking stick, it can help you to have a lot of followers following you just by you having a tokoloshi. So you can reach out to our brother and he can connect us. I do not want chance takers. I want someone who is already established in business, who can afford to pay the fee, which is 40k including the consultation. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to talk about this in the comment section. He's selling his tokoloshis. He's already sold 28 tokoloshis that he has already sold. Yo, strange things they do happen in this world.